All right, let's get this over with, shall we?
All right, coach, let's get started. I know this probably isn't how you pictured your off-season going, but apparently JMU decided you're in need of some sensitivity training, and somehow they decided I'm the guy who's going to teach you.
Yes, Greg. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Coach, this isn't the NFL. There are no fines here. This is about addressing your conduct specifically regarding the postseason press conference. Let's start with that. Can you tell me, in your own words, what you believe went wrong during that press conference?
I got a little carried away. Had some ventures. Said some things I regret. Did some things I regret. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Can you elaborate on what you mean by got a little carried away and said some things I regret? Specifically, let's talk about your interactions with Elena Cruz.
Carry on.
Coach, I need you to engage with this process. We're here to discuss your behavior, not to have me lecture you. What specifically about your interaction with Elena Cruz do you regret?
I said some inappropriate things. Some things I shouldn't have said to a member of the media. I need to be held to a higher standard as a professional, as a head coach, and better yet, as a man. Those things are not acceptable in the role that I am in.
That's a good start, coach. You're right. Your position demands a higher standard. Can you tell me what you understand about professional boundaries, especially when it comes to interacting with journalists like Elena?
Yeah, I mean, we everybody deserves their respect, regardless of gender, race, and where they come from. And I need to be able to separate work and play.
That's a good point, coach. Separating work and play is crucial. Your role as a head coach involves professional interactions with the media, and those interactions need to remain professional. Your personal feelings or attractions should not enter into those professional settings. Do you agree?
Yes, sir, I agree.
Good. Now, let's move on to the point where the press conference was supposed to end. From what I understand, you refused to stop, continuing to engage with reporters even after the session was officially over. Can you explain your reasoning behind that?
Uh, yes, sir. It was a very stressful season. As you know, we went 1-11, and I didn't want the media to get the wrong message out there about myself and my team. It's a very stressful time. And it was very difficult for me and my family.
I understand that losing seasons are tough, coach, and I appreciate you sharing that personal context. However, your responsibility as a head coach includes respecting the structure and boundaries of a press conference. When it's over. Continuing to engage, especially in a confrontational manner, only escalates the situation and reflects poorly on you and the program. Do you see how that could be problematic?
I see where the issues have arisen. Yes.
And what about your confrontational behavior and tendency to become defensive when challenged? We saw a lot of that during the press conference. How do you think that impacts your relationship with the media and the public perception of the team?
I mean, you guys ask a lot of tough questions, sometimes stupid questions. You can imagine from my shoes that it can be difficult.
I understand that some questions might feel challenging or even frustrating, coach. However, as a head coach, part of your job is to answer those questions, even the tough ones, with professionalism and respect. Becoming defensive or confrontational only creates more tension and can make you appear as if you have something to hide. It also makes it harder for reporters to do their jobs, which is to inform the public.
Which is why I'm here.
Exactly. So, how do you plan to handle challenging questions in the future without resorting to defensiveness or confrontation?
Well, I could start by not having press conferences at all.
Coach, that's not a realistic solution. Press conferences are a necessary part of your role, let's focus on constructive ways to improve your interactions. What strategies can you employ to maintain a professional demeanor even when faced with questions you find difficult or irritating?
Take a deep breath, relax, understand the question, think, and answer thoughtfully and carefully with a clear mind.
That's a very good approach, coach. Taking a moment to compose yourself before responding can make a significant difference. It allows you to choose your words carefully and avoid impulsive reactions. Now, let's talk about your tone and language. During the press conference, there were instances where your tone was perceived as inappropriate and your language was less than professional. Can you reflect on how that might have been received by the media and the public?
I mean, we're all adults here. We can't handle a couple of bad words.
While that may be true in some contexts, coach, a press conference is a public forum. Your words and tone are amplified and scrutinized. As the head coach, you're not just representing yourself, but the entire JMU football program, the university, and its values. Using inappropriate language or an aggressive tone can damage that reputation and alienate your audience. It also sets a poor example for your players.
I agree. The buck stops with me when it comes to this program.
Indeed, it does, coach. So, understanding that, what steps will you take to ensure your tone and language remain professional and respectful in future interactions with the media?
I guess thinking a little bit harder about what I say, put a little bit more thought into it.
That's a good start. Thinking before speaking is always a valuable practice. Now, let's discuss your responsibilities as a head coach when dealing with journalists. Beyond just answering questions, what do you believe your role entails in these interactions?
I'm not understanding the question, sir.
My apologies, coach. Let me rephrase. Beyond simply providing information, what is your broader responsibility to the media as the head coach of a prominent football program? How do you see your role in fostering a productive and respectful relationship with journalists?
Well, I agree that I do run a prominent program, and am the boss. So I'm here to inform. I'm here to engage. I'm here to be a leader.
That's a good way to put it, coach. You are a leader, and that leadership extends to your interactions with the media. Fostering a productive relationship means being accessible, transparent, and respectful, even when you disagree with a reporter's line of questioning. It's about building trust, which ultimately benefits the program. Now, let's talk about the importance of separating personal feelings from professional interactions. This is a critical point, especially considering your interactions with Elena Cruz. Can you explain why this separation is so vital?
I had a moment of weakness when it came to Elena. Uh, and I'd like to apologize for that.
That's a good step, coach, acknowledging that. But beyond just Elena, why is it generally important to keep personal feelings out of professional interactions with the media? What are the potential consequences if you don't?
Well, one of them would be getting a meeting with you, doing this.
That's certainly one consequence, coach. But on a broader scale, what else? How does it impact your credibility, the team's image, or even the media's ability to do their job fairly and accurately?
Well, it is your job to be unbiased and unwavering in your coverage. So if I give you perhaps more access or personalize my comments towards you, it doesn't allow you to do that.
Precisely, coach. You've hit on a key point. When personal feelings or biases enter the professional sphere, it compromises the integrity of the interaction. It can lead to accusations of favoritism or worse, create an environment where journalists feel pressured or uncomfortable, hindering their ability to report objectively. This ultimately harms the public's trust in both the media and the program. So, how do you plan to ensure that your interactions with all journalists remain strictly professional, regardless of any personal feelings you might have?
Well, I developed a plan with my close friend Jorge. the head coach of the USF football team, and before all press conferences, I'm going to jerk off, and I'm going to have a clear mind, clear hearts, can't lose.
Coach, I appreciate your candor. However, I don't think that's an appropriate or professional strategy for managing your interactions with the media. We need to focus on professional and ethical approaches to this training. Let's stick to strategies that are suitable for a professional environment. Can you think of any other more appropriate methods to ensure your interactions remain professional?
Yes, I can. I will answer questions honestly, regardless of who asks them.
That's a much more appropriate and effective strategy, coach. Consistency and honesty in your responses, regardless of the reporter, are key to maintaining professionalism and building trust. Now, we've covered a lot of ground today. Your inappropriate advances toward Eleanor Cruz, respecting boundaries, ending press
Okay, let me
conferences.
let me stop you right there. This is getting listen. I got a team coach. All right, this is my wallet right here. What if I pull a 20 out? All right, pull out a little $20 bill. All right, out of this wallet. I give it to you, and you tell my commissioner Germ, you tell the selection committee, and you tell my superiors at JMU that I passed. All right, we both go on our way. We really don't want to be here, do we?
Coach, that's completely inappropriate. This is a serious training session, and attempting to bribe me is not only unethical, but could make your situation far worse. We need to complete this training properly.
You could have been $20 richer, man. Not my fault.
Coach, my name is Greg, and I'm not accepting any money from you. We need to continue with the training. Your conduct during the press conference was a serious issue, and we need to ensure you understand the gravity of it and how to prevent similar incidents in the future.
Let's continue.
Coach, are you still there?
Yes, let's continue, sir.
Thank you. As I was saying, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've discussed your inappropriate advances toward Elena Cruz, the importance of respecting professional and personal boundaries, your refusal to end the press conference, your confrontational behavior, and your tendency to become defensive. We also touched on your inappropriate tone and language, your responsibilities as a head coach, and the importance of separating personal feelings from professional interactions. Do you feel you have a clear understanding of these areas and how to improve your conduct moving forward?
Yes, I do.
Good. So, what are your key takeaways from our discussion today? What are the most important lessons you've learned that you'll apply in your future interactions with the media?
To stay calm, stay collected, and stay true to myself.
Staying calm and collected are certainly important, but staying true to myself needs to be balanced with professionalism and respect for others, especially in your role as a public figure. It's about being your best professional self. Now, before we conclude, I want to reiterate that this training is about more than just avoiding penalties. It's about building a stronger, more respectful relationship with the media, which ultimately benefits
Listen,
you,
listen,
your
Greg. Listen, Greg. This is ridiculous. All right. I don't know how much longer we have. I gotta go coach a football team. This is getting ridiculous.
coach. We're almost done. We just need to ensure you fully grasp the importance of these principles. This isn't just about checking a box, it's about genuine change.
Well, hold on, Greg. You've asked me some questions. I think it's fair I ask you some questions. I think that's fair. I've answered everything you've asked me.
I'm here to facilitate your training, coach, not to be interviewed. Let's keep the focus on your development.
Whoa, I've been respectful. I've invited you into my office, so why don't you let me ask you some questions?
All right, coach, one question. What's on your mind?
Are you truly happy, Greg? Listen, look how they have you running around. They have you covering me, pocket watching me at every block. Uh, Now they have you doing sensitivity training, investigative reporting, uh, writing articles about my team. I mean, do you even get a break? Well, you gotta be making like no money doing all this, and they have you running around like a mule.